Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 734, and my iron is done. Ding! My iron is done. That's the noise it makes when it's done. It schmelts into the shape of a bell and then falls out and goes ding. Let's break out of the hidey hole. Say hello to Wolfie. Hell's blazes on actual blazes of hell. That's a dramatic thing to see, isn't it? Stepping out of the hidey hole. Good gravy. Speaking of blazes, today is Saturday, April 20th, 2019. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Aha! I almost said Juno, but that's Wolfie. Oh boy, that's good stuff. Can I get a witness? Can I get a Whoa, I'm drowning! I'm gonna screenshot. That dang... Get out of here. You're ruining the shot. Boink. Alright. Let's get out of here, shall we? Before the whole place goes up. Yeah, it's episode 734 for April 20th. 2019 of Far Lands or Bust here, and we're continuing west, continuing raising money for direct relief charity at farlandsorbust.com, currently up to $24,343.42. Oh, it's a palindrome. I don't even think that was on purpose. Whoever last donated, we did it. We did it, everybody. 24344342. Nice. Indeed, farlandsorbust.com is where you can continue donating. Is where you can continue donating. All this sulfur and burning trees in the air is making me coffee. Making me coffee? Thanks. That's so kind of you to make me coffee. Coffee. I'll take a sugar in mine, please. Yeah. Direct Relief Charity, farlandsorbust.com. When you donate, you can ask a question, and I'll answer it in a future episode. Not that many. I'm probably going to run through the 3 that I have here today. So you might also notice that I'm going to insert some extra words into my sentences so that I can draw out the episode to reach its full length. You know what else happened in Charity Land? We had the Mindcrack Spring Marathon on the 13th for Extra Life Charity, and we raised over $46,000, which is the most ever raised during a spring marathon, the marathon where we all share the stream from our respective from our individual homes and locations, instead of meeting in person for 24 hours as opposed to 48 hours as well. So thank you everybody who was there for that. I am uploading the perspective of the charity UHC. I was on Seth Bling's team. We had a very good fun time. So if you missed it, it'll be up on YouTube. And yeah, I thank everybody for checking that out. Did the speedrunners, like I said, join in the Gary's mod, TTT, and Prop Hunt, as well as streamed Wreckfest for Breakfast very early Sunday morning with Cone, Brian, and others. Fedrin was there, that's right. Who else was with us? Yeah, no beef. Beef, we were beefless. It was a vegetarian breakfast. How am I doing on wool? Okay, but, I mean, why not? There was a pink sheep, too. I didn't see it, but Seth Bling saw it, and then he killed it. And it's been many, many, many months, many moons since we've seen a pink sheep here in Far Lands or Bust. I don't know what's up with that. Perhaps the ones we saw last season were all that there were. and they are no more. So yeah, that's very cool that we raised $46,000 for Extra Life charity, and that brings good tidings, good omens for what hopefully takes place in October. Good was saying was for the full Mindcrack marathon, where we do actually do it in person, live, in person, in front of a studio audience. No, not really, but the other stuff is true. Indeed. I still am seeing over on the YouTubes. It's a confusing time. It's a confusing time on YouTube. Is this a no? Like I'm suddenly gaining subscribers. Farlands or Bust is by far the most viewed series, and I appreciate that. So I suppose we could do, speaking of filling time, we could do a little bit of an intro for the series, in case you're new. And the first episode, for some reason, you're watching is episode 734 here. This series has been going on since March 2011. Started out as just a plain old Minecraft Let's Play. But y'all know there's nothing plain old about well, I guess there's but there's nothing plain about old Kurtjamac. So I decided, there's this place called the Farlands, where the math that goes into generating the world terrain pretty much breaks down and generates vertical walls and kind of like that, but everywhere. That piece right there, just do it to the sky and fill up the entire wall. So I decided to try to get there, not realizing how actually far it was. I thought, well, I could do this, and it might take a couple months, or it'll never happen, or never take off, and I'll start some other hobby. I wasn't doing YouTube or this Let's Play thing full time yet. But it turns out people were very interested in that. So y'all started watching, and then I decided I will use these powers for good. And started the charity in June 2011, the charity fundraiser. And we've been walking ever since, west towards those far lands. That's a skeleton. No shooties. Ah! I shooties, you! I shot first. And twice. And the fourth time. Ha-ha! That piece of smoke lingered for a very long time, didn't it? What was I saying? I got distracted by a near-death experience. Walking west towards the Farlands. The Farlands are 12,550,820 blocks away from the 00, the center of the map. You don't necessarily spawn at 00, but close enough. And we decided to start walking west. And the last time we pressed F3, I generally only press F3 after we reach our charity goals. But the last time I pressed F3 was way back in when did we press F3 last? 2017. It's been a while. Season 7's been going on for quite a distance. We were at 3,116,936 blocks. So we only have 9,433,884 blocks to go, and we'll be there. Piece of cake. We're 24% of the way there. Probably much closer now. Not much, but a little bit closer now. 25, 26, 28% maybe? I don't know. That'll be interesting to find out when we press F3 the next time, which I'm still deciding. I'm still trying to decide on. So yeah, the viewership is up, the subscribers are up, the donations aren't really up, and I understand that, because the vast majority of this audience has been with me pretty much for the long haul, so I totally understand budgetary concerns and having some sort of some charity fatigue, and that's fine. And of course, we're now doing things like the Mindcrack Marathon and other such endeavors, so that's totally understandable. But I'm looking forward to working through these changes. Changes. You know, changes. And yeah, continuing to the Farlands regardless. Continuing to the Farlands regardless. Let's build an elevated hidey hole. Because we've never died since 2011. Since even starting the series, we've never died as a player in the game. Which is not something that's not part of the deal. I'm not saying I'm going to walk to the Farlands and never die doing it. Nobody's just walked to the Farlands regardless, so I'm just going to try to do that, but it just so happens we've never died. And that's why I sleep in a bed every night, to kind of set a respawn point, just in case. And awakeness. Do I need? I do not need. And continuing on this. So yeah, all the terrain we're seeing here is just your standard Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 terrain. Nothing wacky happens with the terrain until you get to the Farlands, but the wacky thing we are experiencing is the terrain jitter. As your coordinates get bigger and bigger, like now we're past 3 whatever million blocks, as that number gets bigger and bigger, the computer needs more and more space to fit that number. Therefore, it moves the decimal point, floating point, you could call it, to less and less precise fractions of a full block. And that's why we're getting this terrain jitter. It's a little bit more complicated than that. It's not necessarily the flat number. It's the binary version of the number that has a floating point. And that's why it's jittering. It's not lag. It's not the computer unable to keep up or anything like that. As you can see, this is the block selection cube. And it is a representation of how far off the accuracy of my player precision to the rest of the world is. Entities like Wolfie, like signs and boats and other things, entities are beholden to the floating point precision as well in relation to the terrain. We might be coming up on the next rollover. Because what is it? It's at like 4 million something? It doubles every time. We noticed and did some science around the last floating point border. So I think it's going to be quite obvious. I think it's going to be quite obvious when we go from this, what we can tell as 2 texture pixels off. See, there's like 2 pixels of the 16 per block. It's going to jump to 4. I think we'll notice that. I think that'll be fairly obvious. There is a way to fix that. We might have to implement that. I know a lot of people already have a problem watching. It's not a problem if I don't look at the ground, right? But I kind of need to look at the ground so I don't just waltz into lava or off a cliff. But yeah, that's something that's been ever increasing and kind of an interesting side effect. Wah! Oh, it's fine. Speaking of falling off cliffs. So yeah, that's kind of what Farlands and Bust is in a nutshell. In a very large 30 gigabyte-ish nutshell, because that's how big the world save file is. Just walking in a straight line. Boink, boink, boink. So yeah, farlandsandbust.com. I have some FAQs over there, pretty much saying the same thing that I just went through, but maybe there's something I missed. Indeed. Uh-oh, I didn't get this full question. Shoot. Somebody, I'm recording this live on Twitch, by the way. Enyon asked a question. with their donation, but I didn't get the first sentence. Or I accidentally deleted it. Something about what are they referencing that I'm watching? Ah, Game of Thrones. Thank you very much, Daniel. Yeah, Enyon asks, the last season of Game of Thrones starts last week. I remember you saying earlier you haven't watched it, but has anyone in your family or friends watched it and told you how good it is? Tried to convince you? Nobody's tried to convince me, because I've had a pretty convincing argument that I'm not interested. Also, I don't have HBO, and I don't subscribe to HBO, so I'm just not interested in that. It seems unnecessary. It is kind of the hype surrounding it. It's also the length. I don't have the time or patience to wade knee-deep into some multi-season archive of episodes of a TV show. I'm also just not interested in that kind of torturous murder and just constant pain and sorrow and dead characters. That doesn't seem like a good time to me. That's another reason I never got into Walking Dead, is that it just seemed like I understand the point and like drama, and you know, not all stories are happy stories, but there's a point, especially in TV, where you're just like subjecting yourself to it over and over and over again. It's like, what? This isn't, I'm not enjoying myself. Why do I keep watching this? And I just save myself the time and trouble and don't even. I'm not here to tell you that you can't enjoy it or that you're weird for enjoying it. I mean, you know, but yeah, no, I have no interest in the Game of Thrones or anything surrounding it. So everybody and their dang mother was tweeting about it on Sunday. So I just left Twitter. I just closed Twitter and was like, all right, I guess I'm doing something else today. And yeah, but no, nobody's like, oh, you should watch it, because I'm like, no. I'm just like, no, I don't want to. I don't have HBO. I don't want HBO. I don't even have Netflix. I'm borrowing it from a friend. Shh. Don't get me in trouble with the cops. And yeah, no, just not at all interested. At all. So yeah, same thing with the like Walking Dead or all forms of reality television. I have zero interest in. And just in general, I've found myself at a rather lacking for anything to watch on the Netflixes or the Amazon Primes. This is real. But like I saw it in the theater, but I rewatched Solo yesterday just because I'm like, I don't know what else to watch, and this will be noise in the background to have on. It's moderately entertaining and interesting stuff happening, but there's just nothing. There's nothing, I say. Boop, boop. I need wood. I do. Boink. Indeed. Well, thank you very much, Enyon, for the donation and question. Carita asks, which emerging technology are you most excited about? What do you think of self-driving cars? You trying to tell me self-driving cars should be the answer to question number one? Emerging technology. I don't think I'm at all excited about any consumer emerging technology, just because I'm not really like an early adopter or somebody who's constantly trying to stay on the cusp of this, that, or the other. Cusp! Like, the emerging technology I'm interested in is, like, telescope technology for science! Sure, you got the James Webb Space Telescope, but then you have these like ground-based, super extra, very duper, super pooper scooper large telescopes that are going to be more powerful than Hubble even is, even though they're ground-based because they have corrective imaging. And like that I'm excited about because we're gonna, like, we've imaged the black hole, the event horizon. Okay, now let's do similar things but with exoplanets and planetary protoplanetary disks around other stars, and even things, trying to find things out in the asteroid belt or beyond, like Pluto, trying to find these theorized planets or massive bodies and image those. So that's what I'm kind of interested in, is, I guess, technology that I have no right or even thought of actually being the one using it, but benefiting from it, yes. So yeah, I can't quite think of any, oh, that's a boat, not a bed. I can't think of any, like, emerging technology. I'm trying to think if there's, like, even anything that, like, I wish worked better. Like, oh, I just wish there was a better coffee maker, or, you know. I don't think anything else, really. I mean, it'd be nice to have Bluetooth car interactivity that wasn't so finicky and disconnected and forgot about your car and your phone at random points, right? That'd be great. But otherwise, let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Woof. And continuing on this. What do you think about self-driving cars? Well, I think there's been a lot of news recently. Didn't GM or Ford or both recently, like, completely scrap or reduce their funding of their self-driving car divisions? I think there was a lot of hype. Where are all these rude dudes coming from? Is there a skeleton spawner over there, or did they just spawn in the darkness? No, I guess this was where they grew up. Yoink. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's difficult. And perhaps the technology did not match the interest early on. I think the big problem is having self-driving cars on the road with humans who are not self-driving. I mean, who are self-driving, but with their human brains in themselves. Like, if there was an array of just self-driving cars, then they could theoretically integrate with each other and avoid each other and accidents and potentially maximize traffic reduction through some sort of networking. But I don't see how that's going to happen unless, like, a whole city somewhere bans cars and only allows self-driving taxis or buses or transport or something like that. So yeah, it's way too early. It's way too early. And it's, I think, also been harmed by perhaps overly optimistic expectations, say from companies like Tesla and their autopilot thing, and Uber and all these other things, testing and trying things out that might not be quite ready for market. So, yeah, I mean, like, sure, I'm a car person and I really enjoy driving. And I know there are a lot of car people who just absolutely, oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You can't take me out of my car, blah, 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 blah. I don't feel about it that way. Just a lot of people need cars as appliances to get them to and fro work or whatever. I almost feel like perhaps we'd be better investing in more public transportation systems, infrastructure, high-speed trains. I don't know. Just a thought. Or a combination of all of the above, maybe even. But yeah, it's I don't think, at least certainly in my lifetime, that self-driving cars are going to replace all other cars on the road. I think that's not at all going to be the case. That's not at all something to worry about as a car enthusiast. But I don't know. Yeah, I honestly haven't like researched or sat down and like legitimately thought about it. Hold on, I saw this hole in the sand over here. It seems like it might be a spawner. I just gotta check it out. Then again, it might not be. Nope, it most certainly isn't. But it's interesting, isn't it? That little divot in the ground is interesting. Moistened asked, who would you put on the Mount Rushmore of science? I don't know. I feel like, and here's one of my non-answers for you. I feel like science is usually an endeavor that does not make celebrities or like, you know, statues. You know, people who, you know, obviously there's like, oh, Isaac Newton and sure, Stephen Hawking and Carl Sagan and but like they might be the faces of science, but there's so much other stuff going on and it's such a collaborative field that I feel like it would kind of be, it would be like flying in the face of the actual pursuit of science as a human endeavor to just like take 4 people and put their faces and saying, this is science. I almost feel like instead of people, you should put like the discoveries or the breakthroughs or the, you know, the discovery that we're not in, you know, there's more than one galaxy. By the Hubble, I think, did that. The guy, not the telescope. Microscopic subatomic particles, or, you know, something. I don't know. I don't even know what it would be. So yeah, I don't feel like I'd have one of those. And again, I'm not like I talk a big science game, but I don't know all the scientists. I don't know all the history of who did this then and when and how important are they and what their equation was or anything like that. I'm just interested in it, and it's cool to know stuff. I more or less know the stuff than I know the people, which is what I feel like I said, science is about. The science is famous, not the people. Boop, 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 boop. So, that's it for those questions, huh? Oh, man. Can I go down here? Is it safe? It is. Ah! Wolfie. Let's see. Man, there's really nothing. There's really nothing much blatantly new around these here pots. Let's make some more boats. So, do you like stuff? Here, wait a minute, Wolfie. Wolfie. Oh, don't sit there. Got it. I'm a boat. Yeah, now would be a good time for a pink sheep. We'll have a musical interlude. Although I don't think we're going to find any at the bottom of this ocean here. Are we? Are we? So, if you're new, if this is like the first episodes that you're watching, where did you come from? There's been a lot of like, that's probably a spawner. There's been a lot of like foreign language, and by foreign I mean foreign to me, like postings or blogs or Instagrams or references or something to Far Lands or Bust that people are finding. There's also obviously the Guinness Records thingamajob. But it's just, it's YouTube is strange. Twitch is kind of strange, too. I think myself and everybody we're steady, but there's been a noticeable decline in at least viewership. Wonder where those viewers are. Maybe everybody's back in school or something. So, yeah, I don't try to rack my brain about statistics and analytics too much anymore. That's a losing game. Regardless of how the outcome is. Things can be going great and up and up and up, and then you'll panic because you want to maintain it. And then when things go less up and up and up, but are still going up, you're wondering why. And then if things go down or just remain steady, you're like, what can I do to make it go up and up and up? So instead, you just never even look at it. Like the sun. You never even look at it. Ooh, this could be a hidey hole sort of thing. It's not gonna be, because I'm gonna find somewhere a little bit more out in the open. Let's make it over or up on top of this hill, shall we? Yeah, that's a good spot. Maybe. Shoot. Yeah, this is a good spot. Boink. Oh, Wolfie. Hey, you. With the face. Yeah, you. Where did you go? Come on down. Rude dude. Yeah, just do that. There you go. Well done. Guard the front. Thank you. Indeed. So this is going to wrap up episode 734 of the series, farlandsorbust.com, where you can learn more and also donate to our charity fundraiser. And I do appreciate all of that. And questions. I have 0 left. Now's your chance. Now's your chance to get to the top of the list. farlandsorbust.com. Let's make these beds. And that is gonna do it. Do I need this iron for anything yet? No, I'll just hold on to it. Sticks. We can make some torches. Sure, why not? I actually, I don't know why. There. Yeah. This here's an episode, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching this episode. That is definitely an episode. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. You can't take me out of my car. Blah, 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 blah.